copy it and paste, copy it and paste. I've used this since probably October. So, and it's the same thing, and I'll pass it around here. But just to give you an example, one of them says, "Wahoo for you! I'm excited that you'll be joining us for the Pamper Truck Party because you were randomly selected from all the guests on the event invite to attend the party. Make sure you introduce yourself to me so I can award you with a prize. If you want to receive more free prizes, simply bring as many friends with you as will fit in your car. For each friend you bring, you'll receive a prize. See you soon." Okay, so that's pretty generic, but I like posting that one because that person's definitely coming to the show, right? So I definitely have one guest that is not going to cancel because she wants the free gift. So I'm going to pass this one around, excuse me, to this side if somebody wants to grab that and look at it. And then here are my events. You're going to see, if you kind of scroll down, that I have events, 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 events. There's like 50 million events in here, okay? So you can kind of just scroll down and see how many events I have going on. I have a lot because it's all my cooking shows plus all my Facebook shows. What?
You have Holly right here. You forgot
It's Holly Croon.
I'm sorry.
So I do all that. Now there's one thing that I've noticed that really helps to make my Facebook event successful, and that is host coaching the hosts. Just like you would host coach your cooking shows, you need to host coach for Facebook events too. If you don't, your host is not going to know what to do. Now, those of you that got the paper on this side, you'll notice that at the bottom, it actually, I put my host coaching stuff at the bottom of that because sometimes there's people that I can't get a hold of. Or there's people, like right now, I'm leaving on a trip and I didn't get a chance to chat with them because they didn't call me back. So instead of just going, oh, well, I didn't get a hold of them, I typed up something that I can easily copy and paste into a personal message that they'll read and learn how to do their Facebook show. Now, I do not recommend doing that if you can avoid it, because you need to really talk with these people one-on-one. Because I have used that, and they don't really pay attention to it. But I figure I might as well cast a large net and see who I can drag in, and it's better than giving them nothing when I didn't get a chance to get a hold of them. But really, you really need to be on the phone and host coaching them. So I recommend recommend going for leadership, because this is where you're going to get all these great ideas, and then recommend host coaching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have somebody come up here, and you get to be my partner for my host coaching session. Who would like to do that? Miss Holly, since you're a director now, would you like to do that?
Okay.
Come and sit down, Holly.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to tell you is that I host coach my hosts. I host coach my hosts, and those of you that are watching this, I do not dress like this at a meeting normally or at my shows. I'm about ready to go to Los Cabos. Woohoo! I'm going to be on the plane, so disregard jeans, tennis shoes, and t-shirt. So here's a couple things for you to note. When you host coach your hosts, I typically ask my hosts to not send out their Facebook event until about 2.5 weeks before their show. And this is important because if you send out things too early, they kind of get lost in the shuffle, and people don't really reply as well as if you were to invite them closer to the date. Those of you that have booked shows within a week, you'll know that it's much better to book a show close in than far out. So definitely I recommend not sending it out until 2.5 weeks before. The other thing that I do is I combine my Facebook coaching with the actual cooking show coaching, okay? And I kind of had to stumble through this and learn how to do this and figure out what worked well, but I think what I'm going to do next will work really well. So, Holly, are you ready to help me?
Yes.
I'm so excited that you're a director now. You're immortalized on the web now. So I would typically call my hosts anywhere from 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks before their show to do this host coaching call with them. Ideally, I like 3 weeks before their show, but truthfully, you could do this at any point in time, especially if you're booking a show within a week out, and make it work for you. But like you all saw, I have a really tight schedule. So I would call Holly. Are you ready, Holly?
Mm-hmm.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Holly?
Yeah, this is Holly.
Hey, Holly, it's Heather with the Pampered Chef. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Is this a good time for me to chat with you for a few minutes?
Yeah, I got a couple minutes.
Excellent. Well, I want to talk to you about your show that you booked. I know you already have your packet because I sent that out to you, about 3-4 weeks before your show, just so that you had that and had that on hand. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Do you have that handy?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, great. Go ahead and get it. Dump everything out. We're going to run through it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, the other thing that I need to talk to you about, there's actually a couple things. The first thing we're going to talk about is Facebook. and how to make your show successful on Facebook. The other thing we're going to talk about is what you're going to get for making your show successful on Facebook. And then what we're going to talk about is all the technicality stuff, all that boring stuff, but I'm going to save that to last, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right, so let's talk about your Facebook show. So I sent you out your event, and I saw that you joined it and that you invited your friends, so that's great. Good job for you. So there's actually 4 things that I want to make sure that you do for your Facebook event. And typically what I do is I kind of teach all my hosts the 4 steps, and then I leave it up to you to decide which ones you want to do. But really, my recommendation is for you to do all of them, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you invite everybody that you know that you're friends with on Facebook. And it's really important that you do this because I'm going to put a link on your event so that anyone, anywhere can order from you and have it shipped directly to them. So men should be invited, your mother-in-law that lives in New York should be invited, everybody should be invited that you're friends with. Sound pretty simple?
Okay.
All right, so the second thing is after you've invited all these people, what I need you to do is I need you to send them a personal message. Now, are you familiar with how to do a personal message on Facebook, Holly?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so what I typically ask my host to do is just type up a little note, something that says, hey, I'm doing a Pampered Chef event. I just sent that event invite to you. Feel free to go there and check it out. If you can't make it, here's the direct link to order online. And then what you do is after you type that up, I would like you to copy it and then paste it into a personal message to everybody that you invited, okay?
Okay.
Now the reason why you want to do that, Holly, is because if you just send out an event, a lot of people aren't even going to realize that they got it. And I've noticed that because when I go to my shows, I ask my hosts, or I ask my guests, hey, how many of you saw that event? And probably only about 2 or 3 or 4 raise their hands, okay?
Okay.
So, and I'm sure you've been to things before where you kind of miss it online, right? Something's kind of slipped through your fingers. So if you can do a personal message, that's like sending them a personal text. They're going to see it, and they're going to reply, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's step number 2. Now the third step is you're going to get a lot of people that are going to reply to your event. And so when they reply, I need you to reply back. Because the more commentary we can get on the event, the better.
Okay.
All right, so it doesn't even have to be Pampered Chef stuff. You could reply, hey, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. When are you going to come by this way? Or, you know, hey, I want to watch your kids. We should do a play date. It can be anything like that. It does not have to be anything Pampered Chef related. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make people feel special. And the more special we can make them feel, the more likely they are to show up to your party.
Okay.
All right, now have you ever been invited to something where the only thing you got was a text or an email? Okay, and have you ever been invited to something where somebody actually talked to you or personally messaged you and actually, you know, put some time and effort into you?
Yeah, I made sure I went.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to say, which one were you more inclined to attend? The one where you were actually personally mentioned, right?
Right.
So you can kind of see how that would help. So the thing that I don't want you to do, though, is I don't want you to just click the like button, okay? That's probably the worst thing we can do. It's kind of like giving them the brush off. Okay?
Oh.
So you can click the like button, but make sure you comment too, okay? Because that like button really, you know, when it comes to your show, you know, it's kind of like I don't really care enough to respond to you. So we definitely want to respond. And you'll notice that I'm going to respond as well. And I will typically put things on there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you want, you can go on there on the days that I'm not, or the days that I am, doesn't matter, and just kind of see what's going on and post your own stuff about your show and how excited you are, okay?
Okay.
All right, now the fourth thing that I need you to do is I'm going to post something on the Facebook event. And it's going to say the first 3 out-of-state people that order are going to get a free gift from me. Now it's really, really important that you tag all the out-of-state people on this comment, or on this post, excuse me. So are you familiar with how to tag people? Yeah, great. So you know, just click comment and then start typing their name and it makes it blue and it shows up, right?
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. So, and tagging is almost as good as personally messaging. I mean, it's not as good, but you know what? When people see that somebody has talked about them, they always want to know what people are saying about them. So they're definitely going to go check out that post, okay? And typically, Holly, what I noticed is typically about 5 minutes after my hosts start tagging people in this comment or this post, is they start to get orders online within 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It's huge. I've seen this help quite a bit. Okay, so that's talking about Facebook. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how this Facebook event is going to help you to have a really great show, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the benefits that you get. So go ahead and grab your cooking show planner. Do you have that handy?
Yeah, I do.
Great. So it has the pictures of the ladies on it, right? Go and flip it onto the back.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you see the chart that's back there?
Yeah.
All right, so this chart, this is what we're going to do. We're going to specialize in getting you as much stuff as we humanly possibly can, because I'm assuming that's why you had this party, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also assuming that you probably had it to get together with your friends and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you know the party you went to. You know I'm all about a good time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got that covered. We don't have to worry about that. And I'm assuming you also probably had this show to help out your friend Susan.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is all going to work together. I'm going to explain how that works. So what I want you to do, Holly, is I want you to look right up at the top of that chart. I want you to look at the $1,000 sales level. Can you look at that for me?
Yeah.
All right, and I want you to look at that level because my show average is really high, and so I'm going to make sure that we get you to this top level, okay? And so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about what you get. So what do you get for having a cooking show at the $1,000 level? How much free product do you get, Holly?
$215.
So hopefully you're going to have a big list. Now, Holly, what I want you to do is I sent you an email thanking you for having a show. And on there, there was a direct link to my host portion of my website. Did you get that email?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go there and I'd like you to create your wish list for me.
Okay.
And this is really important, Holly, because if I ever do any type of incentive for you, I'm going to be looking on there to see what to offer you, okay?
Oh, okay.
So you definitely want to make sure that that's on there. And then, because, you know, we're gonna use that to our advantage here. And then, what's the next thing you get for having a $1,000 show, Holly?
4 half-price items.
So this is really good. Let me just tell you, because when you have 4 half-price items, you can use that on anything you want in the entire catalog. You don't just have to use it on the half-price combinations that you see at the bottom of that page 3 in your catalog.
So I can get the whole cookware set?
Yeah, you can get the cookware set, you can get stoneware pieces, you can get knives. I don't care what you want or what you're going to get. You can get anything you want, okay?
Oh, wow. Awesome.
I know, it's really nice, right? Now, what's the other thing that you get for having a $1,000 show, Holly?
30% off.
Ah, yes. Now, this is really good because anything else that you want that you're not getting for free and that you're not getting at half price is going to be 30% off. And that's not the only thing you're going to get. You also get free shipping.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, if you live in Alaska, 15% is a really good chunk of change to save, okay? Those of you that live in the 48, you all suck. No, I'm just joking. $5 for shipping. So,
be thankful.
Just kidding. So that's really amazing that you get to save all that stuff. Now, that's not all you're going to get. So, remember how I said that, you know, sometimes it's really nice when you are booking a show because you're helping your friend Sue who booked?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we give something called a 60% off monthly special. And there's 2 people that are going to get this special. Guess who those 2 people are?
Me?
Yep.
I don't know. Who else?
Sue gets it.
Oh, that's great.
That's right. It's called a booking benefit. So that means that not only are you going to get the 60% off special, but you're helping Sue by having this show, and she's going to get the 60% off special as well.
Okay.
So you definitely want to make sure we keep your date, get a good showing, and make sure that you get lots of stuff so that you can help each other out.
Okay, great.
Now, the other thing that you're going to get for having a $1,000 show is you're going to get to be part of my fabulous, mind blank, sorry, hostess team reward system, and I'll explain that a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
But really what I want to do is I want to teach you how to have a $1,000 show, and it's very easy. You don't even have to write it down. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, it's called a 5-15-5 program, and it's super, super easy. You all can write this down. Okay? She doesn't have to, but you should. All right, so, and you too. So 5-15-5, all it refers to is collecting 5 orders before your show even happens, before your party happens, right, from people that aren't going to come.
Okay.
And so I've made this really easy for you by doing a couple of things. The first thing that I did is I put a direct link on your event page. And all your guests have to do is click on that direct link, and they can start ordering right from the site.
Oh, okay.
And the second thing that I did is I gave you some outside order forms in your packet so that you can get orders from people that you don't have electronic connections for. Now, it's very important that they fill out the order forms completely because all their items are being shipped directly to them since we live in Alaska. All right, if you live in the lower 48, that doesn't apply to you.
But you still should have them fill out their order forms completely.
Yes, you still should do that. But it's more important for us.
Yes.
And I also want you to know that when they live in the non-contiguous United States, that their items are going to be shipped to them United States Postal Service. So it's very important that they know to put down a P.O. box if that's what it calls for, especially with your online guests, because online it says that we do not ship to P.O. boxes, and that's not the case.
Okay.
All right, so you want to make sure that your friends know to do that. And then if they live in the contiguous United States, it's going to come FedEx delivery. All right, so that's two really important things to note. The other thing on your order form is you're going to notice that there's a guest special.
Okay.
And the guest special says that when your friend spends $60, they're going to get a free gift.
Okay.
Now it's really important that you, when you hand them this catalog and you hand them this order form, that you tell them that they're going to be getting a free gift when they spend $60. Because let me just give you a little heads up. They're not going to read it.
Okay.
They're not going to read it and they're not going to pay attention to it. And the reason I know this is because I've gotten orders back that are literally like $58, $59, where if they've just spent one more dollar, they would have got a free gift.
Oh, okay.
So if you hand that to them, then they kind of look at it and go, oh, I want to make sure I spend $60. And so when you get the order forms back, also double check and make sure that if they're close to that $60 mark, that you kind of maybe reiterate that they can get that free gift.
Okay.
All right? The other thing that you're going to really want to make sure that you pay attention to is the shipping. Now up here in the non-contiguous United States, our shipping is 15% plus $3.
Okay.
Unless they're spending $25 or less. Then it's $6.25. And you're going to notice on my order forms
75.
that I put that on there. So it's
$75.
and it's on my order forms. I put that on there. So when you get the order forms back, make sure that you tally everything up and that everything adds up correctly. Because that'll help us to close our shows really, really quickly. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back to all those people, get the extra money, and it's just a little bit of a hassle.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that you're going to notice is down towards the bottom, it talks about the payment method. And I always have my host be the banker for the show. And the reason why is because sometimes you might notice that your friends aren't going to get paid for a couple of days. And if they know they have to pay me, they might not order. But if they know they can make arrangements to pay you, they're going to place that order and you're going to get more sales. Okay, now if that doesn't work for you and you can't be the banker, just let me know and I'll take care of that. But I got to tell you, I've had people drop $150 just like that, knowing that they can post date a check to their friend. All right? So if you can't be the banker, though, let me know and I'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
Now, as consultants, you guys can choose whether or not you want to be the banker or you want the host to be the banker. Okay, that's something that's personal to you, and I choose to make my host be the banker. 14 shows, that's a lot of checks. So that's personal to me, though. All right, so back to our host coaching. So we've kind of reviewed everything on the order form. Do you have any questions?
No, I think you pretty well covered everything.
Okay, great, because that's kind of the technical, boring stuff that we needed to talk about.
Okay.
Went pretty quick, right?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so that's part of the 5 for the 5 before. Okay, now
Okay.
the 15 refers to collecting 15 orders from your show from people that show up that night.
Okay.
Now here's what I've noticed. I can look at my stats online. I can look at my averages. I can tell how much people are spending, and I can tell how many people are coming and ordering for my parties. So I can pretty much tell you that however many people you invite, only 1/3 is actually going to be able to make it to your party. So it's really important that you're inviting at least 50 people personally to your show.
Okay.
So I know we can go on Facebook and we can invite 200 some odd people, but unless you do that personal messaging, or you pick up the phone, or you send a personal one-on-one text to that person, that's not going to count towards our 50.
Okay.
All right, so we really want to make sure that we get those 50 personally invited people. And since you have, when I noticed, I looked on the Facebook thing, you have like 250 friends. 50 should not be too hard, especially since every person that brings a friend is going to get a free gift from me.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to help our attendance too. All right, so the last 5 for your 5, 15, 5 refers to collecting 5 orders from people that canceled at the last minute. Now, I don't want to scare you or anything, but you are going to notice that the night of your party, your phone's going to ring.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have, at least 2 to 3, maybe even sometimes 4 people cancel, especially if it's snowing like it is today. April 8th in Alaska. So, or if your friends are sick or their kids are sick or, something like that happens.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that you're prepared for that. And I'm going to give you about 3 days after your show to collect more orders from people that can't make it.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to close 3 days after, and we're going to close over the phone. All right? So everything we do after your party is all going to be over the phone, which I really love.
Okay.
All right? So when you add all these up, when you add 5 plus 15 plus 5, that gives you a total of 25 orders. Now remember how I said I can look at my averages and pretty much tell you how much the average customer orders?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well my average is $40. 40 times 25 is $1,000 show.
Oh.
I know, pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
Now doesn't that sound a lot easier than saying, okay Holly, you just need to have $1,000 show now?
Okay, yeah.
Makes it a little bit easier if you can kind of break it down into little bite-sized chunks, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I love. Now, do you have any questions about any of that, Holly?
No, I think you covered it.
Covered everything? Okay. So the last thing that I need to talk to you about, Holly, Actually, there's two things. Remember how I said that Sue's going to get the booking benefit for you booking?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure that you understand that when people book off of your show, that you're going to get that monthly special as well.
Oh, great.
So if you have anybody that's not coming to the party or that always invites you to their house for a party of their own,
Oh, okay.
you want to talk to them and talk up having a show and talk about the party that you went to and how much fun it was and how great of a consultant I am.
Oh, yeah.
And really encourage them to have a show and try to get as many bookings as you can before the party happens. And if you have bookings before your show, Holly, I'm going to make sure that I have extra free gifts from you. And guess where I'm going to get that list of gifts that you want?
Ooh, for my wish list.
That's right! So make sure that you do that. That's really important. So the last thing that I need to let you know about, and that has to do with our host rewards, is how you can use them. And this is something that I have to tell all my hosts because it's part of our rewards program. So I want you to take the catalog and I want you to look on the last page of the catalog. So not the back page, but the last page. Can you go ahead and look at that for me?
Yeah.
All right. And so if you notice back there, there's actually two kits. There's a really, really big kit. It has over $500 product, $580.
$580.
$500
$580.
product. $580. I'm flying. I'm a little nervous. Dollars worth of product in there, and you can get that for as little as $115 when you use some of your free product towards the price of your kit. Now, if you look right next to it, there's a smaller kit, and that one has about $225 in product in it, and you can get that for about $80. Now, both of these kits have to do with trying the business. Have you ever thought about trying something like this, Holly?
No, not really.
Okay, well, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to start thinking about it. So what I did is I put a flyer inside your packet that says, come join us, or a closer look. There's two different ones you can use, the blue one and the purple one. I like the
Actually, the blue one is now orange and white.
Okay,
It's called
so-
Discover Us.
Orange
Not
or purple.
not
so
a details girl.
I like the one, yeah. Mine are actually still blue, but you can use, I have old ones. So you can, I like for you consultants, I like the one that has more information in it for my hosts.
Join
and
us.
then less information in it for my guests.
Discover
So what
us.
I'd like you to do, Holly, since you've never thought about it before, I'd like you to start thinking about it because one of the things that I do for my hosts is I give you all the bookings that night from your party to help you get started in this business. Plus, you're going to get to use some of your free product towards the kit. So what I'm going to do is I'd like you to look at that information, write down any questions or concerns that you have for me, and then what I'm going to do is our next host coaching call, I'm going to talk to you and see if you have any questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's about it. Anything you'd like to ask me before I let you go?
No, I think that's it.
Perfect. All right, well, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you next week.
Okay, great.
All right, bye, Holly.
Bye, Heather.
Okay, so questions. Consultants, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me? Go ahead.
Speak loudly.
Speak loudly. I'll repeat the question.
You do a whole lot of giving away free gifts.
Yep,
And
I
for
do give away a lot of free
brand new
gifts.
consultants just starting off, we do not make as much money. So how would you advise us to go about that?
That's a really good question. So she asked, in case you didn't hear, is how do you give away the free gifts? There's actually quite a few different ways you can do this, but my favorite way is when you do a supply order, all of the old Season's Best Recipe collections come out to about, what, 80 cents?
No, not even. It's
Like
like
a quarter.
40 cents or
Yeah.
25
They
cents.
come out to about 25 cents for a cookbook. And those cookbooks, people love them. And they love the discontinued ones because they can't get them anymore. So literally when you're going and you're placing a supply order, and sometimes consultants will do that together so you can even save on the shipping. You know, so post something on Facebook if you'd like to go on a shipping order. But literally, like, I mean, how much did you say it was?
It's like $2.50 for 10.
$2.50 for 10. So that's what I give as gifts. The other way that you can do this is you can order, like I order for people that are out of state that order, I just put a citrus peeler on their order. And the most it's ever cost me is $1.25. So, but you're gonna notice that you're gonna get a lot more out of state orders and a lot more online orders. I was able to go back and look on my website, and I went back months and months and months, and I was looking at how many online orders I was getting. And before I started doing Facebook and offering specials, maybe every once in a while I would get an online order. But now when I go back, I can look and see I've got 8 on this show, I've got 14 on this show, I've got 5 on this show. Every single show has an online order. And some of them have upwards of, I had one that had 14 on it from doing that. So those things are a pittance compared to what you're going to get in your commission. All right, so think about it though. Do the math on any incentive that you want to do. And when I say do the math, I look at it as if I were to have the lowest show possible, which is a $150 show, what commission would I make? Well, let's say I would make my lowest, for you guys, the lowest percent would be 20. Well, how much would you make off a $150 show if you did 20%?
$30.
$30. Could you afford to give away a $40 or 40-cent cookbook?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So that's how you work on that. Any other questions? Wow, really?
Okay, I'll just keep asking questions.
Keep asking. Ask away before you do
Okay,
questions.
so we have a whole lot of technical background in our actual P3, which I hope is not going away because I'm just learning it. So when you go in there and you have, I always get like a red flag. You know, you've got this person and they've got this left, but you're picking up that tab on your free gifts. So is there any type of training that we could possibly do to actually go, well, unless they
I'll
change
just
it,
tell you right
go
now
redo
how
wash.
to do that. So her question is, you know, how do you make the balance and totals balance up? If you go to the payment screen or the payment button, one of the things that it says on there, if you do the drop-down menu, it says a lot of things. One of the things that I choose is consultant gift. That way it shows up in my expense report at the end of the year for taxes, and it doesn't mess up my totals. So if I put on a citrus peeler for somebody that's ordering out of state, and it usually costs me about $1.19 for a citrus peeler, I click payment, I click the drop-down menu, and I choose consultant gift. And it doesn't mess up my totals or what the guest totals are. Any other questions?
So do they actually get charged for shipping and tax for a consultant gift?
They-
I get charged.
They've already paid.
They've already paid.
Their payment's already in there.
Then add that citrus peeler.
Mm-hmm.
Because the citrus peeler is only 75 cents or a dollar.
It's a dollar.
It's a dollar.
And then make sure that that's all right.
Yeah.
And then add the item in.
Yep.
which are labeled.
And then the difference will be right there.
I've kind of worked some of it. I figured out how to figure it out, but I.
So I'm gonna
do it a
focus
whole
on
lot
you
of
can
math.
tell.
Still a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amy's gonna share how you would do something like that on the beta
So
site.
if you're on the beta site, obviously you want to have their order in first. Look and see what their total's going to be, write that down somewhere. Then add in your citrus peeler. You're going to click cash or check and put in the difference that the citrus peeler is going to be. So whatever the total is, subtract that number you wrote down. So click check or cash and type in that number, that difference. Click save, then go back and put in their payment information, and that way it'll charge the credit card what they're supposed to be getting charged. Because you have to do cash or check first if you're doing the new web. If you're doing a multiple split payment like that, credit card always has to be done last, because you can't. What's the overamount of the You can't specify how much you're putting in on the credit card, so it has to be whatever the remainder is. Make sure you write it down somewhere for taxes though too.
Any other questions?
Can I have Amanda share something that she did on her Facebook show that was such a great idea?
Yes, I love that idea. Let's talk about that idea.
Okay, so I did a drawing for the person that was going to get the season's best, and I thought it would be cute for my mom to see my 2-year-old daughter pulling our drawing and giving the winner their gift, which was ordered and sent because they're out of state. And I got a big rise out of everybody, so something that I'm going to do is I'm going to personalize my Facebook events by posting up personal things from myself and obviously my cute 2-year-old daughter because she's
They
just
love
cute.
her.
And people really like that actual personal touch, so I just thought it was a good way to make it personal.
And what she did is her daughter held up the season's best and showed what they were going to be drawing, and Amanda's narrating in the background, and then she reached in the bucket and pulled out the winner, and so it was awesome. So,
Yeah, I even had her hold a sign.
Yeah.
One of them the other day.
oh, did you?
Yeah,
So.
because we had a points event, so I had her hold
Oh.
the sign and.
Try not to make anybody sick.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And I had her hold up the sign for the winner of the points event is, and I had to get her to turn it around. Turn around, and she's like, yay! After she figured, I was kind of clapping, so she thought it was great.
So the cool thing about that is you're using a quick video, just using the webcam on your computer or using your phone or whatever, and then posting it on that event. How awesome is that?
That's a big woohoo!
Yes, it's a very big
Awesome idea.
woohoo. and the other thing that I was thinking about is you could use it to do a welcome. You could welcome people to Facebook events by posting a quick video and giving them maybe some online ordering instructions or tell them to come back or whatever. So
I'm gonna have my husband actually go through their host reward slide with me. I'm gonna make a video of that, get that posted, so then they can see me and see all the host rewards on our slide. And then towards the end, I'm gonna do the recruiting, and then have the recruiting slide as well.
very good.
So after Jen had told me Amanda's really great idea, my wheels started to spin. So my wheels were spinning. So one of the things that you saw me pass around was my script of what I do with every single show, right? And it's just generic things. That way I'm not typing a lot. So when you do your videos, I would highly suggest that you try to make them as generic as possible. So when I'm doing the Facebook shows, I'm gonna actually have my newborn in there because everybody wants to see the newborn. They all know I had a baby, so that's really gonna do a draw like the 2-year-old does. And then explain to them how your online only Facebook show works. So explain to them, here's the link above, click on that. If you want to look below, you're going to see that I posted the monthly guest special. Make sure you check that out. And then when you go to the home page, check on the left because it'll say guest special right there. So all the things that I've noticed that are giving my guests hang-ups when they're ordering online, those are all the things that I'm going to talk about when I do the video. And so it's going to be an introductory video, and I'm going to make sure that, hey, check out this video because this will really explain how to do this show. And then that's something that I can also coach the host to make sure that she tells all her friends to check out that video. So that could be another part of the host coaching section. Okay. So any other questions, you guys?
Heather, can you say again how many shows you had last month and how you managed all of those Facebook shows by posting your posting schedule?
Okay. So I did 14 shows last month, and how many catalog shows? 5.
8 or 9.
So it was 5 catalog shows and 14 cooking shows, and every single one of those, unless the person does not have Facebook, will have a Facebook event created for them by me. I will post on those Facebook events every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, people will typically comment, and it'll show up in the little world, and I could have 20 comments on the little world. I'm sure, Amy, there's a technical... Yeah, the notification world.
Your notifications tab.
And so I ignore those. I mean, I'll look at them just to make sure it's not something like a friend talking to me, but if it happens to be a Pampered Chef event, I will ignore it until it's my Facebook day for my events. Because otherwise, you're spending way too much time on there. And when you have a lot going on, that can become very overwhelming. Even if you don't have a lot of shows, you all have a lot going on in your lives. And so you don't want to be on there all the time. And if you're a communications junkie, you might really need to chain yourself down, okay? Sometimes I do. It's like, oh, I just want to, no, I'm only going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And maybe create your own schedule. I know Jen likes to go on there every single day because sometimes she might miss a day and she doesn't want to get too far behind. So come up with your own schedule. That just happens to be mine and what works best for me. And then make sure that if you're going to do things on a regular basis, some kind of specialty you're always running or some kind of thing that you're going to talk about, write it down, type it down somewhere. That way you're copying and pasting because it goes by so much faster if you can copy and paste. I mean, literally it only takes me an hour, and that's with a ton of online Facebook shows. So for you, it could take you like 10 minutes depending on how many you have. So that's just, logistics there. Any other questions?
Do we have this in the Dropbox at all?
We're working on it.
Amy's going to do that. What I wanted to do was I wanted to put the pictures, because there's actually pictures that I post with each thing that I post. So if I'm going to post something on my events, there's always a picture attached to it because it's eye-catching and flashy. And so the one that says the first 3 out-of-state people that order get a free gift, that one actually has a picture of the enter key on your keyboard, the little enter button, and it's highlighted in green, and it says online order or something like that. So, see, and somebody has seen my Facebook events. So it says shop online. So I try to couple that as well. And then if I'm going to post, the first thing that I do is I figure out what am I going to post today. So that's the first thing that I do. And I typically will go to Pampered Chef's Facebook site, and I will look what they have there. And if I like it, I'll take that, and that's what I'll use. If I don't like it, I might go look at another consultant's page. And if they've got something, I'll copy that and paste it. Just make sure that you give them credit for wherever they got it from, okay?
If it's another consultant and it's a Pampered Chef thing, you don't necessarily have to give credit. But if it's another consultant who got it from a blog, make sure you give credit.
Yes, and I think we all got that email recently, right? Okay, any other questions?
That's right. Take pictures, take pictures, take pictures.
My parents live out of state, and so I'm planning on visiting them in June. And have any of you had a party where you actually were out of state? Not,
Yes.
I don't know. I just she asked me, well, are you gonna have any of your product? And she already has some Pampered Chef product. I can bring some because she lives in Seattle, so she free ship or free bags, so I can take whatever I want. But have any of you done that, or because
Sure.
okay,
Save
and
your
like
plane
I'm
ticket.
not,
Everything's a tax write-off. Your plane ticket to go see her to do this show, or are you talking about a Facebook party?
She's
no,
talking
no,
about
no, no, like
starting
I'm going for just a visit, but I'm trying to get her to have a Pampered Chef party while I'm down there, and like so like
Pick a simple recipe.
okay, yeah, I don't want to do okay.
Do the cucumber live dip.
Maybe
Yep.
use something that you know she already has.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can do that, and then like with shipping, shipping's different down there, and then they have tax, and so
Take your computer
okay,
and it'll figure it out for you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And have all the guests bring tools.
Yeah.
People
Okay.
usually have a ton of Pampered Chef product, and even if it's the old retired stuff, just say, this is what it used to look like, but if you turn to page blah, 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 this is what it's going to look like.
That's a good
okay?
idea.
Especially the scrapers, because you can tell that they don't like deteriorate at all.
Yep.
I did the party at my parents' house in Florida when I went to visit them, and my parents used to sell a long time ago, so they have a ton of stuff. And
Jen
so
didn't
I
see
showed-
that.
I showed everybody, like the difference, that it doesn't, discolor, all that changes is the little logo on the handle.
Right. Okay. Jen, we need to do food.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Heather.